Santa Claus is synonymous with joy, generosity, and festive cheer, but not always. Beneath the jolly red suit and bushy white beard, there have been darker figures throughout history, folklore, and even real life who've used the iconic Santa disguise for far more sinister purposes. From terrorizing those who misbehave to committing shocking crimes, here are 10 instances where the holiday spirit took a disturbing turn. Starting off this list, in our number 10 spot, we have the Munich Santa Claus bank robbery of 2012. A burst of violence draped in candy cane stripes and carols can stop a holiday shopper in their tracks, and that's exactly what happened in Munich on a crisp December morning in 2012. Under that familiar jolly red suit and bushy white beard lurked a hardened criminal, clutching a weapon and eyeing a bag of cash. Without blinking, he brazenly threatened bank clerks as they tried to make sense of Santa's sudden shift from giver to taker. Moments later, with crowds still cheerfully unaware of the drama unfolding behind closed doors, he strolled out onto the streets, blending seamlessly into the holiday chaos. Just another red-coated figure in a sea of festive cheer. The police were left scrambling, the city rattled, and the image of Saint Nick, at least for those involved, would never look the same again. Next, we are talking about Frau Perchta. This legend comes from Germany and Austria, and the legend of Frau Perchta is a terrifying one. Also known as the belly slitter, this evil Christmas creature takes the lives of her targets by opening up their stomachs and stuffing them with straw and stones. She also likes to eat people, just to top it all off. You might be wondering who her victims are, and those would be people with dirty homes, those who worked during the 12 days of Christmas, or, of course the worst, those with bad behavior that's awful enough to land them on the naughty list. But it is said that her absolute least favorite kind of person is someone who is lazy. All in all, it's safe to say you better not get on Frau Perchta's bad side, or else instead of delicious food, you'll find your belly full of straw and stones. Or worse, you'll find yourself inside the belly of the beast herself. Next, we are talking about the Colombian Hitman disguised as Santa. In 2013, a chilling tale unfolded in Bogota, Colombia, when a hitman decided that Christmas was the perfect time to deliver a deadly blow. Dressed as Santa Claus, he blended effortlessly into the holiday crowd, using the festive spirit as cover for his sinister mission. The target? El Mono, a high-profile criminal who was unaware that his jolly-looking assailant was anything but cheerful. As the assassin walked through the busy streets, no one suspected a thing, and within moments he made his move, claiming the life of his target before vanishing into the city's celebration. With the red suit and white beard hiding his true intentions, he capitalized on the chaos of the season to escape, leaving behind only the horror of a Christmas assassination. This bizarre and eerie twist on the Santa myth just goes to show that when the spirit of Christmas is hijacked by true evil, even bright red costumes can't hide a dark heart. Next up, we are talking about Belsnickel. Belsnickel is a monster that comes from German folklore. He appears in raggedy old clothing and fur, and he carries a switch with him. The strange thing about Belsnickel is that he also carries candy to reward the good children, which, I mean, may be good for him putting in a bit of effort to not be entirely evil, but I'm not sure if giving out candy as a reward really makes up for the fact that he uses the switch to beat the ones who are being bad. I think it might just be best to just stick with classic Santa's lump of coal for those who are poorly behaved, but maybe that's just my opinion. Next up, we are talking about the San Francisco bank robbery of 2015. A burst of holiday spirit soured in an instant when a man in a bright red hat and fluffy white beard strolled into a San Francisco bank on a December morning in 2015. Beneath those layers of seasonal cheer lurked a criminal who slid a written threat to the teller instead of a cheerful greeting, demanding cash as if it were Christmas candy. With no sleigh bells ringing, no merry laughter echoing through the lobby, he vanished just as quickly as he arrived, blending into the sea of holiday shoppers outside, all too busy buying gifts and sipping hot cocoa to suspect a thing. The staff, left staring at empty registers and trembling in shock, learned firsthand that even the jolliest disguise could hide a pair of greedy, calculating eyes. There would be no reindeer tracks to follow, no chimney ashes to track back home, just the unsettling reminder that sometimes Santa's red suit doubles as perfect camouflage for pure mischief. At our halfway mark, we are talking about Gryla. Gryla is an Icelandic ogress who kidnaps, cooks, and eats beats those who are misbehaving. Apparently, she has extra special abilities that cause her to be able to sense the bad behavior in nearby towns. She will then steal them and bring them back to her home, where she cooks them into stew, which is her favorite meal, of course. She is the mother to all of the Yule lads, and apparently she also has 3 different husbands and a total of 72 ogre children. I feel like I'd also probably really hate misbehaving if I was having to look after 72 of my own children. Her children are also monsters just like her, and they love to cause trouble. It is said that the Yule cat also lives with Gryla, so she certainly has quite the full house. Maybe Gryla just needs a day off. You know, she's got a lot on her plate, it seems. Next up, we're talking about the Managua jewelry store heist of 2014. A bustling Nicaraguan storefront on a warm December day in 2014 suddenly found that the holiday spirit can mask something far darker than a jolly grin. A man dressed as Santa, flanked by his so-called elves, didn't just step inside with candy canes and laughter, they came armed to the teeth. Instead of belting out carols, they barked orders and threatened employees, sweeping through glass cases and pocketing precious gems under the cover of their merry disguise. Startled passerbys peered in from the busy streets, clueless that a staged holiday visit had taken a dangerous turn. Within moments, these red-suited thieves vanished into the crowd, leaving the staff trembling and the shelves stripped. Next, we are talking about Hans Trapp. Hans Trapp is an anti-Santa type character and comes from some regions in France. The story goes that he was actually a real man who was very greedy and very evil, and that he worshipped Satan. After being excommunicated from the Catholic Church, he decided to head to the forest, where he disguised himself as a scarecrow. From then on, he made it his mission to scare and then also eat people. One day, when he was about to eat a boy, he ended up getting struck by lightning, which was God's way of punishing him. While luckily that ended the mean old man's human consumption, Hans Trapp still visits around Christmas time to serve as a reminder of what can happen to those who are naughty. He remains dressed as a scarecrow so that he can scare people into behaving well. Next, we are talking about the Dublin Santa. A crowd of red and white hats and fluffy beards bobbed along Dublin's streets in December 2013, raising funds for a good cause and spreading a sense of holiday cheer. Beneath that cheerful facade, however, one runner in a Santa suit took the festivities to a dark, violent place. With no warning, he clashed with another participant, turning what should have been friendly banter into something far more sinister as he pulled a blade and struck his fellow charity runner. Spectators, expecting laughter and music, were instead met with panicked screams and a flurry of confusion. By the time the authorities arrived, the wounded victim lay, leaving stunned organizers and volunteers grappling with the grim reality that even events meant to unite communities in kindness can be twisted by those who hide wicked intentions beneath a bright red coat and a jolly white beard. And finally on our list today, we are talking about Krampus. While Krampus was made into a 2015 horror comedy movie, there really isn't anything funny about this legend. Krampus is the anti-Santa Claus and really undermines the holiday spirit we all know and love. Legend says that Krampus is supposed to scare those on the naughty list into behaving better, but it gets really dark when we take a look at how he goes about scaring them. Krampus either beats them with birch branches, which is already pretty gruesome and evil, but he will also tie them up in a sack and haul them off to hell. Krampus is mainly a German and Austrian tale, but he is definitely recognized in other countries who have their own versions. I don't know about you, but I'd really rather get a lump of coal under the tree than get kidnapped by Krampus. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I will see you again soon. Bye!